Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Sarge. Sarge is from Arizona in the USA. So let's see what Sarge has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Sarge, how are you?
I'm doing well.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's been a kind of a crazy day, but it's good. All for good. All for the good.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
I'm sorry, more of a day or night. Definitely more of a night person. I don't like to get up in the morning at all, so I tend to stay up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and not get out of bed until 9 or 10.
I
So
see. And do you have like a morning routine or not?
coffee.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's not just a routine. It's a necessity.
Any specific coffee or just black coffee or is any
uh,
specific?
Mm, yes, but I don't get it very often because I've moved around a lot. My favorite coffee that I tend to order online and have brought to me is Tim Hortons, which is a Canadian brand of coffee. It's wonderful. It's my favorite.
Tell me where you're from, Sarge.
Originally, I was born in South Carolina, but I was an Air Force brat, so I moved around an awful lot. But I spent most of my growing up in upstate New York near Buffalo.
Okay.
Um, and then I moved around 100 times since I graduated high school. I've lived a lot of different places. I had just recently moved again, so I'm in Kingman, Arizona now, and I've been here since a little bit after July 4th.
Wow.
So yeah,
And why Arizona?
uh, because of my photography and content creators generally being in closer areas. I'm 90 minutes away from Las Vegas. I'm 3 hours away from Palm Springs. I'm 2.5 hours away from Phoenix, and like
Okay.
maybe 5 hours from Los Angeles. So I have a high concentration of content creators within a short distance away.
Oh, I see. So mainly is because of your business. That's why you are based over there.
Sort of. I mean, it's just just in Kentucky, there's not a high concentration of creators, so or people that are willing to get naked in front of a camera.
I see. Okay, so let's interview talking a bit more about your career as a photographer. So tell me how everything started.
Started in seventh grade. One of my favorite teachers handed me a camera and put me in charge of photography for our yearbook.
Wow.
So cameras have been a thing for a very long time. Um, I worked for Disney for a very long time, and I was on the road with Disney for a very long time. So I
Wow.
was doing photography um, to I would get done with work at 5 o'clock, and I would be up until 11 or 12, and not have anything to do. So I would put out Craigslist ads for people that wanted photography or boudoir and that sort of thing. So I got to meet a lot of interesting people on the road there. And then I got let go from Disney. Not that's the wrong word. That's I didn't get fired from Disney. I have a disability, so they could no longer keep me on board because my doctors wouldn't sign paperwork letting me go back to work. So anyway, now I'm disabled. That's when Profiles by Sarge became a thing because that's like, well, what do I do with all this time that I have? So I
Uh-huh.
create Profiles by Sarge to be able to pursue the art and still be around people and not feel quite as disabled.
Wow. And when you work for Disney, you will work as a photographer or not?
No, no, no. I worked in sales. I was a district sales manager for travel agents, and I covered all of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I was on the road probably a good 200 days of the year,
Wow.
going to travel agencies and teaching them about our products and stuff like that. But I did create a lot of marketing materials, which helped me with my photography, to get a grasp on Photoshop and editing and layout and design and all that sort of thing. So it all kind of comes together. So, but
Wow.
the photography passion has been around since I was a teenager. So it just naked people probably not until like 2000.
Actually, I was working for Disney Cruise Line in the past. Yes, a few years ago, I did one short contract for Disney Dream. So I wasn't ship for 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I was
Well,
on the inaugural. I was on the inaugural sailings of the Disney Dream. It was a great ship.
yeah,
So
it
that
was
was
amazing.
here's a cruise, part of your job. Yeah, it was great.
It was the
Um,
newest one because they have Disney Fantasy. They have different ships, and Disney Dream, I think, was the newest one. So that's when I
there's
went to.
more coming out, so that they're always going to be adding to that fleet. So, but the Disney Magic is still my favorite, and I don't know why. It just is. If I could go on board a ship tomorrow, it would be the Disney Magic.
Amazing. Okay, Sarge. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far. Okay.
Sure.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of view?
I'm scared to death, but ready as I can be.
Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Wonderful questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
You bet.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, always can change, okay?
Sure.
Amazing. First question is, when have you been the most happy?
Ooh, I was in a long-term relationship with someone that's since passed away. And those were probably the best 3 years of my life. I had my career, I had my relationship, I had money coming in, like everything was absolutely perfect. And we call those the days of Ross. So he made everything great. So
Wow. And when you think about your partner who passed away, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
cooking, the boy could cook. So
Yeah.
everything was about food with us. But probably my best memory of him was he was a Kentucky boy, growing up in the country, very, very, very rural. And I got to take him to New York City for the first time,
Wow.
and for New Year's Eve. So we were in the heart of Times Square for New Year's Eve in 2009.
Wow.
It was a big deal for him, and it was a great deal for me to watch his face just walking through New York City. It was great.
Amazing. Question for you. Do you think one day you're going to meet him again?
I hope so. Um, I don't have a whole lot of religious thoughts in my brain, but I would like to think that there's something after this, and something where you can see all the people that you've loved before. That would be amazing to me.
And when you think about life, what's the meaning of life for you?
Ross. Definitely love and happiness, and being authentic. I think being authentic is a huge part of the meaning of life, because I feel like you lose a part of your life if you're not authentic.
That's so true. Oh my God, that's powerful, Sarge. And I totally agree. I think if you, I know sometimes it's difficult to not be yourself, sometimes, but when you can be your authentic self, when you literally can wake up every day and knowing that you're going to be your true self, I think that's being authentic. That's the meaning of happiness for sure.
Glad
That's
you
how
agree. Wasn't trying to even be profound.
Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the nicest thing a family member has ever done for you?
Family member. Chosen? um, no, actually, I have a really good family, like bio family too. I shouldn't discount that. Um, my mother has been super to me for my entire life.
Wow.
Um, she has supported me in every decision that I've ever made. Um, but when I first went out on disability, I was shooting with an old, probably 15-year-old Canon um, camera. And I wanted a new camera. I wanted a mirrorless. I had this big plan in my head. On disability, getting a new camera is kind of hard. And she bought me a nice Sony mirrorless camera, and that's probably the nicest thing because without that I wouldn't be Sarge. Without that I wouldn't have the portfolio that I have. So yeah, that's probably the nicest thing she's ever done.
Wow. And she's the closest person in your life right now?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I have people that I talk to more.
Mm-hmm.
The closest? I mean, relative wise, yeah. I mean, but we talk an awful lot. But I have some very good friends that I talk to several times a day. So that's a hard question, but I'm going to say yes for her. Excuse me.
Okay,
Um,
so yeah, yeah, carry on.
yeah, but I'm 100% upfront with my mom. Like I don't have to hide anything from her.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I hide anything from my friends either. So I would say that we're probably closer now than definitely when I was a teenager.
Wow. Okay, so your mom is watching this interview right now and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say? She's watching.
I love you and thank you for everything that you've done. You did a good job.
Oh, very sweet, very sweet. And did you have a big family, Sarge? Like siblings or or not?
That's complicated. I have a big family, but almost no family at the same time. I have my mother's been married 3 times. Don't judge. Um, I have two sisters and a brother because her second husband adopted me. So legally, they are my sisters and my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have two stepbrothers from her current marriage. But all in all, I'm an only child. So yeah, and I have a lot of nieces and nephews that call me uncle and all the things that go along with that. So it's kind of big, but I guess biologically, it's really not. And I have a huge chosen family now, and I have chosen family mostly in Chicago. My leather people. I worked for International Mr. Leather for a very, very long time. I've been involved since 1996.
Wow.
Um, that community, we all worked together to put on International Mr. Leather, and those numbers even outweigh my bio family. So my chosen family is really very important too.
Yeah, I think those, people, those, as you said, chosen family, they are people that they come into our lives. You don't choose those people. They just come into our lives and they just stay. You know what I mean?
Oh, they've stayed, and the funny thing about our all of our friendships is that we still stuck together before internet, before email, before cell phones, and we still managed to maintain that even if I moved away. And today, obviously, we still talk. I have two friends that I talk to every single day, about 4 times a day on Facebook Messenger.
Wow.
Just to, how's your day? So, I mean, yeah, my chosen families that we've been through a lot. We've had people that we've lost and people that we've married and people just it's an incredible experience to have that.
And your biological family, they're most in South Carolina or New York?
No, well, mostly in New York, near Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
Um, my mother and my stepfather were snowbirds for a really long time. So they would
Mhm.
be half the year in New York and half the year in Florida. And so now they're 100% full time in Florida. So
I see.
they're a little bit spread around too. I don't get to see them as much now.
I
So,
see.
and even harder now because I moved from Kentucky to Arizona. So, But they used to, when they were snowbirds, they would stop in Kentucky on their way down to Florida and on their way back home. So I got to see
Right.
them twice a year, and now that hasn't been happening for a while.
Right. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a photographer? Tell me the feeling when you are, performing your gift.
Biggest joy. The reactions when people can see themselves positively instead of negatively. There are
Right.
so many people that get in front of my camera that fight against getting in front of the camera because they're afraid of their body. They don't feel like they're muscular enough, or I have to lose 10 pounds, and you don't. And it's part of, I have photographed 72-year-old men. I've photographed people that are 300 pounds. I've photographed 18-year-olds that have body images, and seeing them be happy with the way they look and the way that I capture them is extraordinarily joyful.
Wow.
I wait very impatiently. I send that link for them to look at their photos, and I'm like, tell me that you love them. So it's very important to me to make people happy with their image.
And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about your career?
Finding people to get in front of the camera.
Why is that?
Definitely. It's not something that you're going to just walk up to somebody and say, hey, would you like to model naked in front of me? And excuse me, a lot of the content creators that I work with, which is the majority of who I work with, are people that actually already have an OnlyFans or a Just for Fans or a Twitter or something where they show themselves off. That comes down to logistics, and a lot of them want to be paid, and this isn't a paid gig. I don't want to pay them, and I don't expect them to pay me. I want to do it for the art and the exposure. I believe what I do is artistic. I know a lot of people will argue with that. But I want to make beautiful, sensual captures that not everybody's going to look at and go, ooh, porn.
I see.
But it's the fine line between erotica and pornography. And I don't consider what I do pornography unless I know that I'm doing pornography. I have videotaped Mason Volt, my number one person in my life for content creators. I have videoed his porn. I've taken pictures of his porn. I know that I've done porn, but that's not what my goal in my photography is. So that's, I guess, the education between people with knowing the difference and knowing that there's an art to this, and it's not just a naked body slabbed out on a carpet. Make sense?
Yeah, I get your point for sure. Next question is, what's the most memorable lesson you've learned from your parents?
From my parents? Getting old doesn't have to suck. They have had better lives as elderly people than they did while they were younger and struggling and all that sort of thing. It's just they have grown old gracefully. So yeah, that's it doesn't have to be horrible to get old. Although the gay community would probably tell you otherwise. So I feel like the gay community shuns everybody that's over 40. So we'll see what happens.
And for you, being a gay boy growing up, back in South Carolina or New York as well, did you have the support of your family at the time, or it was a bit tricky for you?
I didn't come out until I was way away from there. So I guess it was, well, I'm bisexual too, so that there is that. I lean towards boys, not gonna lie, but I am bisexual. But growing up in the small town in New York that I was in was not the healthiest environment mentally for someone like me. And I joined the military right after high school, and that was when all the light bulbs went off and everything came out, and I came out at 19. Um, so small town New York wasn't where I wanted to do that. But I will say, since I've been back for reunions and things like that, my friends are ultra supportive. So the people
Wow.
that I grew up with, I graduated with like 85 people. I would say that probably 75 of them are still alive, and probably 70 of them are friends of mine on Facebook. So they
That's
know what I
amazing. Before you came out as a bisexual, as a gay boy, gay guy, do you think your mom knew it or not?
No, I think she was actually legitimately shocked.
Right.
I'd had a lot of girlfriends in high school, and that was the first thing that she said to me when I told her. I told her on the telephone. I was in San Diego. She was in New York. Anyway, it was a long story. And she's just like, but you've had so many girlfriends. And I'm like, so I think she was legitimately shocked.
I see. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, Serge. Next question is, what bores you?
Mm, I don't know. I don't bore easily. That's an interesting question. Hmm. See, and if I get bored, then I pick up my camera. So
Yeah,
do I stay? I don't think I stay bored. I don't think I get bored, William.
I love your answer. I love your answer. And you know what? I had an interview with a lovely man last year or the year before from Australia, and he told me a funny story that I always remember. He said that when he was like a teenager, he was his grandmother was driving a car and he was in the back seat, and he was moaning like, "Oh, I'm so bored, I'm so bored." And his grandmother said to him, "Just bored people get bored." I love that. I love that. You know what I mean? Just boring people get bored. I really like that. I think it makes so sense.
If you're bored, it's your own fault.
Yeah, yeah. There's
There's nobody to blame.
saying that. What's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Sarge?
Hmm. I'm very flexible, and I love that. I
Mm-hmm,
think part of that's due to being a Gemini,
mm-hmm.
because that's all the moving around that I've done. I blame that for being a Gemini. Um, and yeah, I think flexibility is my number one thing that I love about myself, just because I can blend in. I can feel comfortable almost anywhere. I can feel comfortable in a five-star restaurant, and I can feel comfortable in a dive bar. So I think that that's probably my best trait.
And you've always been this way.
Yeah, sad, but true. Yeah. Kind of a
Okay,
chameleon that way.
I love it. Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Before the next question, tell me, when was the moment that you decided to work as a photographer more related to nudity, to naked men?
Uh, After I went on disability, and I was feeling very sorry for myself, and I wasn't feeling attractive, or like I didn't think anybody would want to be around me because of my disability and all that sort of, the self-doubt problems that go through your brain. And I had a friend of mine um, that works with, he was the director of IML, um, give me the opportunity to do all of the artwork for IML. So I got to take pictures of another friend, a great friend of mine, Josh, for the poster of International Mr. Leather. Um, and working with Josh just made everything come out. He got me my first publishing when I was in Desert Heat magazine,
Oh,
um, and it just kind of ballooned from there. So, and then Mason Bolt, obviously threw me into the spotlight, and that's how I ended up with almost 20,000 followers on Twitter overnight.
Wow.
Because I mean, he's a big time creator, and only lived 12 miles away from me, so that was great. um, and he's still one of my greatest best friends, and part of my chosen family now. Although I moved away from him, so I feel bad and guilty about that.
Amazing. Next question is, what is the biggest risk have you ever taken?
Moving to Kingman, Arizona. Um, Out of all of the moves that I've ever made in my life, this move has been the biggest risk. I had converted a Sprinter van so I could travel in my van. So now I have this wonderful van where I can go to Palm Springs for 5 days and not have to worry about hotel rooms and all the wonderful things that go along with that. But packing everything up at 58 years old and moving to an extraordinarily conservative area in Arizona, just to be accessible to these other areas. I knew that there wasn't going to be a lot here for me as far as content, but having the access to everything else nearby, huge risk, huge. And it's paying off. Next week, I'm going to Palm Springs for the Palm Springs Leather Pride, and right now I have 5 photo shoots, but only 3 that are confirmed. So we'll see how that turns out. But I at least it's working out for me to be able to get out there and do my craft.
But as you mentioned, that this place you are right now is because of geography, that you could move different places easy for you. But why exactly this town where you are right now? Is just you knew before, or somebody suggested, or you just literally end up there?
This is gonna go back to my Disney days.
Okay.
It's kind of a romantic, weird thing that I have with Route 66. Do you know Route 66 being in London?
No.
It's the longest highway in the country, and it's turning 100 years old this year.
Wow.
But have you seen the movie Cars?
The animated one or the
Yes. Yeah, the
uh,
Disney movie Cars.
I don't
That's
think.
basically here.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Where all that comes together. But Route 66 has a definite romance to it. It's very historic. People love to just drive. It goes from Chicago all the way to California.
Right.
And there's a song about it, and Kingman, Arizona is part of the song. It's just, there's a whole romance thing with Route 66. So I hope that all the people that are watching this from other places understand what that means.
I
You'll be
see.
Googling it later.
Okay, so when you say Route 66, actually, I'm just picturing now. I'm sure it crossed my I've seen somewhere, or maybe I never put too much attention, but it rings a bell. The Route 66. So I'll check it out for sure. When I said romance, I thought, okay, maybe it would be someone that's your kind of have a romance thing. That's what I thought.
No, I have never, well, I won't say never. I would not ever now move anywhere for a man or a woman. No, no,
You never know. You never
no.
know.
They can move to me.
I love it.
Not making that mistake twice. No.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question is talking about, romance. Tell me, how would you describe a perfect, healthy relationship?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had the perfect healthy relationship, even with Ross.
I mean, they're not perfect. I think relationship is a maintenance every single day with up and downs. However,
Communicative, sexual, and I'm gonna say open because I'm not made to be monogamous, but
okay.
I believe that there's a difference between love and sex.
Mm-hmm.
They meet together. I understand that, but I also know that people are human, and it's easier to maintain some sort of openness than it would be to expect monogamy and then be mad when you don't get it.
I get it.
So that's, but having a primary person, that's to me, that's love. If you have somebody that you just want to sit and watch TV with and go out to dinner with and do things with and have common interests, then that's that. But right now, not for me. I don't. It's hard. The people are very jealous of what I do.
Right.
Um, the OnlyFans work and having the very very hot men in front of me naked, they think that the whole world's falling apart because I'm around naked men. So I don't right now it's really difficult to find somebody that understands what I do and accepts what I do.
Tell me the very first time that love hit you, that you felt like, oh my God, now I know what love means. Now I understand the feeling of it.
Ross, literally, and that almost sounds cliche at this point. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we met on an app.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that might have been Grinder. I don't know if it was Grinder. It might have been Gay.com. I don't. It doesn't matter. But he came over and he knocked on my door, and I opened the door, and he literally took my breath away. And
Wow.
I would say within 3 weeks, he was staying at my house every night and practically moved in. It hit both of us like a ton of bricks, and I never had. It's the only time in my entire life I just literally went because I was taken aback. He was just beautiful and sweet and kind and southern. Just he was a whole package. He really was.
Wow.
I miss.
What has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from him?
Never to give up. There was a point where he gave up,
Mm-hmm.
hurt everybody in his life by him being gone. Um, so I try harder to not let things like my disability get in the way of my happiness and keep going. So I want to keep going every day because I don't want to feel like I am hurting all of those people the way that he did. And I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but it still hurt a lot of people. So you try harder to be better.
Are you okay to talk about your disability, Sarge?
Sure. What do you want to know?
No, just what happened. What happened? If you can share, or is something that you're okay to talk about it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fine. I have a disease in my back. It's
Okay.
actually my whole body, but mainly in my back. It's called ankylosing spondylitis.
Okay.
Um, it's an extraordinarily painful um, disease with your muscles and creates. I don't know how to explain this. Have you ever heard of bamboo spine?
Uh,
Um,
no,
yes.
no, actually, no, no.
Oh, okay. What happens is your body, it's an autoimmune disease,
Okay.
and your body doesn't know when to stop healing. So it creates fractures and then heals over top of itself. So it literally creates a layer of bone around my spine and my other
Right.
joint. So I have mobility issues in my back and neck. I can't really turn my head very far. Um, and because of that, your muscles start to atrophy. So you end up having muscle issues on top of it
I
because you
see.
can't move as well. Um, so yeah, it's a very debilitating disease. But I'll tell you, I was diagnosed when I was 25 years old, and
Okay.
I was told that I would be in a wheelchair before I was 40. And I am 58 years old, standing and walking still to this day. So
Amazing.
if I beat it, no. Does it suck a lot? Yeah. Um, but I'm still standing and I'm still walking and I'm still doing things that I love.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, Sarge. I think it's very inspiring for you to say that because, you never know who's watching this interview right now. Maybe they are in a time of their life. Could be anything else, and sometimes they feel that there's no way out, or maybe they are think that something can, put them down, which can sometimes. However, you need to believe, you need to go, carry on with life. And I think, as you said, they told you about that, and suddenly you are still walking, doing your thing. So I think that's it's amazing to hear. So thanks for sharing that. It's very inspiring for sure.
I will say that it took me 3 years after I
Mm-hmm.
went out on disability for me to get there. There was a lot of depression and a lot. I mourned for my career. I mourned for my job. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get up every day and go to work.
Wow,
Excuse me. And it took a long time for me to come to where I am now.
amazing. Last question. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's do this one. Okay, before the last question, let's talk a little bit more about the International Mixer Leather. So tell me about these events that you've been involved, how things got together.
um, I'll preface it by saying I'm no longer with International Mr. Leather. Last year was my last year, 2024, not 2025. um, I was a contestant in 1996. I was
Wow.
Mr. I was Mr. Philadelphia Leather in 1996, and I made the top 20 of IML. And during the top 20 of IML, the guy backstage that's letting you go, like when you're ready to go out there, his name is Bill Stat, and he went from being a stagehand to being the director of International Mr. Leather. He went from being a stagehand to being one of my best friends. Um, and because of his work in IML, I worked with him year round as an executive project manager, doing all of the pretty much every piece of media that you would see. So if there was a poster, if there was a pin, if there was a T-shirt, I made this T-shirt. I designed this T-shirt.
Wow.
All of that kind of stuff. But through that, when I first started, after I was a contestant and I moved to Chicago, I was working on set crew, and that set crew that's my chosen family. Those are the people that still, from working on set crew with them, I can rely on. If I go to jail, I know I can call any single one of them and they will bail me out.
Wow.
Um, Working on set crew set the stage for the rest of what Bill and I would do for 25, almost 30 years. 30, it'll be 30 years next May. Wow.
Incredible.
Um, yeah, and these are the people that I choose to be around, and they're the people that if I need to cry, I can call. So they're good people. I love them. And I love my
Wow.
leather community with all its passions. Um, Things are a little bit different now that there's three of us that were in the office. It was Bill, Roger, and I, and we all basically retired in 2024 and let a whole new crew of people come in and take over everything that we've done for the last 25 years. um, and it's a different feeling. But now I get to go back next year for the first time ever as a guest.
Wow.
Um, Mason Bolt, who I mentioned, who is one of my favorite people and one of my models, won Mr. Kentucky Leather just a couple of weeks ago, and is going to IML, and I am going to be there to support him. And it's going to be a completely different experience than anything that I've ever done at IML before. So I'm looking forward to that part. I'm
I can
looking forward to
imagine.
the other side.
Maybe you're gonna be more relaxed now. You're just gonna enjoy the event completely
Oh,
now.
it's definitely going to be more relaxed. I can tell you that. And I'll probably get a lot more sleep.
Last question is, what three things are you most grateful for?
My camera,
Mm-hmm.
my history with my career,
Okay.
I'm gonna say Mason just because he's one of the most important people in the world to me. So I don't think I could live day to day without Mason Bolt.
Wow. Wow. How did you path cross for the first time? You and Mason.
Twitter. I came across his work on Twitter and sent him an email saying, "Hey, would you like to do some photos?" Which I've later found out that was some creepy old man has invited me to get naked for his camera. But anyway, it ended up working out really well. Him and his husband came over for the very first time for the photo shoot, and I don't know what happened, but everything it just clicked. And he is so many things to me. He's the son that I never had. He's
Wow.
the confident that I need. He is my ego, mentor, mentee. I'm more his mentor, especially for leather. This upcoming contest is going to be completely on me because I'm going to be like, you need to do this. But I won't be that parental. But yeah, he's one of a kind. That one.
Send my regards to Mason, okay?
You just did. I'm
Hello.
guaranteed that he will watch this.
Amazing. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking,
Ooh, I'm
okay?
scared of this. I've seen people flub this on your show. I'm scared.
Money, one word.
Money, success,
Fear,
spiders,
family,
love,
life,
short,
religion,
meh,
love,
love,
yeah.
heart.
Sex,
Mm. Is a word? Sex, pleasure,
one word for politics,
shitty,
friendship,
loyalty,
desire,
passion,
regret,
plenty,
success,
money.
wish,
Disney.
one word for Disney,
Wow. Omnipresent.
one word for happiness,
Ross.
oh, sweet, one word for Kentucky,
Redneck.
I had some people actually from the show from Kentucky, and they mentioned that as well. One word for South Carolina,
Birthplace.
New York,
Home.
one word for USA,
Troubled.
one word for photography,
That's hard. Pleasure.
wow. And the last one now, one word for the leather community,
Sorry.
one word for the leather community.
Bold.
Amazing. Okay, let's pretend now I'm going to meet Mason for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, define Sarge in one positive and one negative word only. What he would say about you?
One positive word and one negative word. Loyal. Negative. I'm sure he has negative thoughts. I don't know what they would be. Persistent. Persistent can be a negative, right?
Yeah. I see it's very positive, but it depends. The contest can be negative as well, for sure. If Ross was still with us, and if I would ask the same question to him, would be the same answer?
I would think yes.
For both?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Um, he knows how loyal I am, so, and definitely very persistent. So, and that's why I think that it's the over persistence that makes it negative.
I get it. Now I get it. I'm trying to get it. Let's play now, Sarge, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before asking the question, of course, my God, I'm sure you have a lot of photography sessions with different people, with different occasions, different scenarios. But my question for you is, tell me a moment or a situation that you're never gonna forget, that so far it holds close to your heart or to your mind. Something, could be anything, a feedback or maybe a situation during the photography session, could be anything that it touched your heart somehow.
Seamus O'Reilly. Um, Never had met him before, had known people that have known him. He was very willing, and I mean, he has a 10-year long pornography career, and a lot of people know him for who he is. I was extraordinarily excited to meet him and extraordinarily scared that I was going to fanboy. And when he came, we actually rented a studio for that day. And when he came to the door and came in, he immediately gave me a hug and a kiss.
Oh,
And that
sweet.
I knew he's a real human being with a big heart that just wanted to be there. And then it ended up being one of the most amazing photo shoots that I've ever done. So
Wow.
just that connection that he and I had first out the gate, it was one of the most special times ever for me doing photography.
I love this attitude when someone, he was genuine to give you a hug and to give you a kiss. I think it's such a genuine a way of breaking the ice. This, you know what I mean? To start something new, something beautiful. That's the shoot itself. I think it's a great way to somehow to let all everything comes naturally, like your emotion, the way you are. I think that's a great way to start for sure when you meet someone for the first time. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely an unexpected icebreaker.
I love
So
it.
I'm usually the one putting the models at ease, and he put me immediately at ease and took away all the fanboy stuff, and I just saw him for who he was. So it was a great moment for me, and we're still friends, so I love that. So
Okay, Sarge, you can ask me a question now.
I'm going to assume that you've seen my work. Um, if there was one person, let's say famous person, that you would like to see me photograph, who would you choose for me to photograph?
My God, what a great question, Sarge. What a great question. Wow, you put me right in this spot. Right. Oh my God. Someone that would love you to photograph one day. Wow, that's amazing, the question. You know what? Okay. I'm going to put that in a very relate to the show right now. I'm thinking about the magic box. I'm thinking about people who, be on the show. And actually, someone who'd like you to maybe photograph one day. He's not in the model business, in this business. However, he got a really good heart. And I'm going to go, he was the very first interview I did on the Magic Box. Yeah. He's a lovely French guy, a French friend. And of course, when I started doing the interviews, I didn't have my website, I didn't have anything on yet. It was just this crazy message I was sent to people. They were like, who is crazy man want to participate in a magic box questions? I don't understand. So imagine when I started, it was more difficult to get people because I didn't know, I didn't have all the work I have, right now. People, they just can't see everything. At the time, it was difficult. So I started inviting friends, people who I knew it, of course. And on the first day, I had 5 interviews. I started like in a big way, and he was my very first interview. He's a French guy who lives in France. He got beautiful eyes. He's a beautiful man. And he was so genuine as well, and when I invited him for the first time, he was like, of course, I support you. I'm starting something new and I love to be part of it. And he was my very first interview I ever had. And I think it would be lovely to see him be photographed by something out of his comfort zone, something completely different of his real world. However, it would be nice to see a beautiful man like him, a straight guy, be photographed for someone like you, so professional. And I think it would be amazing to see him being, see him through a length of, being photographed for someone like you. I love the question, and he was the first person who came to my mind straight away. Yeah.
Now bring him here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna talk to him. Maybe he'll be up for it for sure. Never know. Did you enjoy the interview, Sarge?
I did. This was good.
Thanks again. Thanks for being so sweet, so kind, and accepting my invitation. I love your story, your life journey. I love to see passionate people here on the show. I love when I talk to people and I can see their eyes shining when I talk about their life, about their profession, about their, their journey itself. And it's fascinating to see you, doing the best, giving the best of you right now with your photography. So it's great. So thanks again for being so kind and being part of the show, and to bring this, this life journey that you've been, traveling and enjoying the most you can for photography. I think photography, it's amazing because it's a work. It's gonna be always there. And
I hope.
and when you no, I don't hope, I know for sure. And I think that when you see photography from people, you can see something in there, you know what I mean? And for a photographer to be able to capture that, I think it's something special. It's a gift. Not everyone can do that. So I think you know what I mean. I think it's amazing for you to be able to do that, for your photography. Amazing.
Thank you
Thanks
so much. I appreciate that.
Of course. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Life can sometimes throw you huge curveballs, but sometimes you just have to swing.
It's the only way to go through it.
Sometimes you have to take the shot. So no matter how hard that curveball can be, sometimes you have to reach out and go for what you want. So, and I'm still doing that.
And I believe that's a powerful place to be, for sure. Sometimes not easy, for sure. However, it's meant to be this way, and you need to go through it. And there's always something to learn and to, to get out of it, for sure. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thanks again. Regards to your friends, to Mason, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, okay? Enjoy your day.
Will do. Much.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.